freaking hire people.
Yeah.
And so that's when we got like, okay, let's work with Microsoft, Shell, IKEA, Assassin Foundation, Dubai Future Foundation. Maybe they can pitch in a little bit for scholarships so we can make the program accessible to everyone who gets accepted. The main thing is that like, yeah, TKS was very mission oriented. It was about like, yeah, training the people because this age group is the best place to start.
Virtual and augmented reality, genetic engineering, and quantum physics may be topics beyond the scope of the average brain, but not if you're one of the gifted teens who are part of the Knowledge Society.
For kids between the ages of 13 and 16, but it takes something special to get in.
So this session was all about the Metaverse. We had the students learn about what it is and then also get their hands really dirty by building things. So they had a chance to take an object that they brought from home, something with sentimental value, and recreate it as a 3D model.
It's from Mexico, and on Halloween they fill it with candy and give it to little children.
And I took 140 pictures of it just to render it. I actually bought a medal from my mom. She's a shooter. She's a gold medalist shooter.
It was my first time exploring Metaverse, and before the session I didn't even understand what it was, but I think I have a better idea of how it can be used.
The idea that like approaching someone makes you feel anxious, right? Because what you're doing is you're crossing someone's boundary, perhaps unwanted, right? You don't have their permission to. As you get older, it's probably harder and harder to have that kind of vulnerability. I think when you're younger, you can get away with a lot of things too, because you're younger. So if you are someone who's apprehensive about initiating conversation like that now, and you want to change that, I encourage you to actually push yourself to do it.
Yeah, I knew I always wanted to do something impactful in the world. You get derailed by what people think. You chase the games, the status game, the money game. You actually stop and think, what does success mean to me? You can start crafting that path better. And for me, it was impact. And it clicked to me that school wasn't an education system, it was a filter system. And as soon as I realized that I was in a filter system for 16 years of my life, I wanted to create something different. A place where you could actually learn and grow and use what you learned to do what you wanted to do. And ideally, that was make an impact. 0.1% of people in the world are really smart. But I think 10% or 20% of the world could be really smart, right? Which is 100x, 1000x what we're currently at. But what systems do they have in place? Think about it. 0 people you guys know outside of TKS are doing something like this. 0 of them.
All right, so
if you want to make some sort of real impact in the world, you can't work on a problem that's already been solved, right? Like that doesn't make any sense. You have to work on a problem that hasn't been solved yet.
Ours is going to be Microsoft, like so far, like that's the vibe.
It's like an amazing opportunity to be able to work with these huge companies.
It's a mix of both excitement and nervousness.
This time I'm thinking about like just going crazy with like anything.
I was definitely excited at first to see the companies, and it was a major surprise to see such big global brands.
Thinking about Samsung.
For me, it's Maverick, Biometals, or Microsoft.
At the end of 4 weeks, where do you guys see yourselves?
See us winning.
Winning? Damn.
So through the session, I want to work with each of you on your presentation like outline. Ideally, by the end of today, you have a good sense of when you get up on stage, like what are you going to talk about in your 3-minute presentation. I think genuinely, you could do this in about 8 hours total. Like from ideation to solutioning, to article drafting, to presentation, 8 hours to 12 hours total, you could do it all. If there's 3 of you, it's like literally 3 to 4 hours each. It doesn't have to be that daunting if you're using these AI tools like we've been doing throughout the year. It doesn't have to be that hard.
Unbelievable. Good or unbelievable? Practicing, right?
Not going to get solved by people who are not passionate about solving them, right? You could just be sitting at home researching for weeks, but when it comes out to sharing the ideas and presenting it, especially to really smart people like our 3 judges, it makes it real, okay? My one piece of guidance to the judges is don't treat them like this. So if this was literally your team, and you had a Moonshot division in your team, what would you be asking? Okay, so that's the mindset I want you guys to have. Cool? All right, thanks.
Okay, with that,
know that one thing, if I was part of the audience, what I would take away is how big these issues are and like how they're so untapped into.
I would really recommend joining TKS if you would like to learn about global topics, able to think like really in the future and have an unconventional mindset.
It was amazing. In my understanding, these kids are much smarter than we are. They just raise such topics which the adults even don't think now.
When I was this young, I never thought of such things. So this is, I think, quite impressive. I liked what I saw. Young children thinking about world problems and trying to solve things. It's quite impressive, and I really liked it.
This was amazing. I'm really inspired. I was just wondering that I'm here for my daughter just to support her, but it's 3 hours and I didn't felt it's 3 hours.
Best thing is that you guys stimulate creativity. And they are young and they are okay. And as long as they have the confidence that they can be creative and they can be themselves, gives them the confidence to keep on doing that.
My brother was at McKinsey at the time, global consulting firm, and he comes and visits me. And we're sitting in my hot tub one night. And he asked me this question. He's like, if we had $10 billion in the bank, what would we do? And I was thinking like, yeah, what would we do? I'd probably want to solve the world's biggest problems because you could buy all the fancy cars, the houses, the clothes, the electronics, all those things. And at the end of the day, you spent maybe $100 million. You still have $9.9 billion left. So it's not a question of what you would buy, it's a question of how you'd spend your time. Then we started thinking, could money solve those problems? And the answer was clearly not. So it's not a money problem, it's a people problem. We realized that there's not enough smart people in the world working on important problems. That was the initial mission. How do we get more smart people exposed to global problems and increase their probability to be able to solve these problems? And we just thought that was so important that everything else was just so inconsequential.